What's up, everybody? Jacob here, JK Productions. Yesterday, y'all saw my predictions for the NFL season. Who I think is going to make the playoffs, who I think is going to do good, who I think is going to suck. Patriots, Seahawks for the suck part. But today, I got the superlatives? I don't really know how to say that. But the award races, who's going to get fired first, who's going to impress, who's going to let us down, besides the two teams I just mentioned. Actually, you might see one of them again. But yeah, got my awards here and everything I think is going to go on as an individual basis for the season. So starting off with the rookies. An offensive rookie of the year is something that's a little more difficult to choose this year than in most years. Week 1, I don't believe any of the rookies are going to be starting. So you look at the quarterback position, and I don't think you're going to find an offensive rookie of the year there. The wide receiver position, though, is very stacked. You have Drake London. You have George Pickens. So I do think it's going to be a receiver, and I think that man is going to be Chris Olave of the New Orleans Saints. Has a real strong opportunity there to be the wide receiver 1. And Jameis Winston, when he played last year, looked sharp. So I got Olave winning Rookie of the Year on the offensive side of the ball. And on the defensive side of the ball, that pick is a little easier to me. I like Trayvon Walker. I like Darius Stingley. I like Sauce Gardner. But Aiden Hutchinson has looked nice in camp. You've been watching Hard Knocks. Just finished up on Tuesday. You know, he's been a beast. He's been nice. And I would have drafted him first overall, but the Jaguars said, nah, give me Trayvon. Well, no. I'm taking Aiden as my defensive rookie of the year. Then, first coach to be fired. Now, this year, we're not really going in with as much head cases or clear and obvious dudes that might be fired midseason. So it's going to require something very catastrophic for a few of these dudes to be fired. And I think the one guy who didn't deserve a head coaching gig in the first place is the one that's going to be fired, that being Lovie Smith of the Houston Texans. There were a lot of quality candidates out there, and Lovie Smith just has not had a good time as NFL head coach. Just over a 40% winning percentage in the NFL, and even worse with his time with the University of Illinois. I think he only won like 13 games in 4 years. It was absolutely horrible. He takes over the job there in Houston. Clear he's not the long-term answer for the Texans. And if things turn sour, I really think he could be on the chopping block first as a coach. Another guy to look out for, though, Cliff Kingsbury. I think the Cardinals are going to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to be just fine, but we've seen the tension rise very quickly on that team over the years, and there were some question marks this last offseason as to whether he was going to retain his job or not. He obviously did, and I do think that was the right move. But if the Cardinals start off slow, they're going to be without D-Hop. Game Conner is pretty injury prone. We don't know how Hollywood Brown's going to look. And they tried putting that clause into Kyler Murray contract to make sure he studies game film. So there's a good chance that the Arizona Cardinals could kind of go belly up, and Cliff Kingsbury could be the first guy to get fired. But I am going to have it be Lovie Smith with the Houston Texans as the first guy to lose his job as a head coach. We did the offensive rookie of the year, so now the offensive player of the year. I'm going to have that be Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. I really like this Minnesota Vikings offense. I think they're going to be absolute night and day difference from changing the coaching regime. And there could be a multitude of guys on the offense who could be up for the award, especially if the Minnesota Vikings finish as high as I think they can. I think they can be the number 2 seed in the NFC. So they definitely have room to be the number 1 seed. They, of course, could miss out and finish as a wild card. I definitely think they're making the playoffs, but I have them as a division winner. Dalvin Cook is probably going to have a sharp season. Adam Thielen, touchdown machine. Kirk Cousins as the quarterback there is a sleeper quarter or sleeper MVP pick potentially. So Justin Jefferson, he was my first wide receiver off the board in fantasy football. I think he's going to go absolutely off this season and is my offensive player of the year, followed by the defensive player of the year. And this one, there's definitely a lot of options. Xavier Howard down here in Miami, I still say that he should have won the award a few years ago. Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in football. Looked a little weak in the playoffs, but I got his teammate winning it. Aaron Donald, dude's a monster. One of the best defensive players in NFL history. We almost lost him to retirement. He thought about it very strongly, but when he's on the field, you see how angry that man is. He probably should be suspended, if we're being honest, with the helmet smashing incident in the Bengals practice. Myles Garrett does it and gets suspended, but Aaron Donald does it and he doesn't. It is a little bit of different judgment for different players there, but I do have him winning the Defensive Player of the Year, followed by the Coach of the Year. And I don't think it's going to be one of the obvious guys, which they don't generally like to do. Like, the obvious choice would be the Buffalo Bills coach, what's his name? Forget his last name. But then you have Sean McVay over in Los Angeles. But I think it's going to go to Nick Sirianni. There's a lot of question marks about Nick Sirianni going into last season, and the Eagles performed very well. And I expect them to do the same. I think they're going to win the division, and I think that's going to be enough to get Sirianni Coach of the Year award votes, and he would be my pick if they end up winning that division. I can see him finishing as high as the number 2 seed in the NFC as well. You know what I just said about the Vikings, but I think there's a good chance of them finishing very high in the NFC as well. So my Coach of the Year pick, Nick Sirianni of the Eagles, followed by Comeback Player of the Year. And I think this one's very obvious as to who to pick. The king himself, Derrick Henry, last year missed half the season with that injury. He's going to come back strong, full force. He really is all that Tennessee Titan offense has. Robert Woods is decent. We'll see how he is coming back from the ACL tear. Treylon Burks, I don't believe in. Ryan Tannehill, I think his job is absolutely in jeopardy, as it should be. Malik Willis is far and away a better athlete and I think a better quarterback. So Derrick Henry is going to have to carry that team, and I think he will carry that team. In doing so, will get himself the Comeback Player of the Year award. Followed by the team I think is going to impress us, really come into the season and catch a few people by surprise, and is that team I just mentioned with the AFC Player of the Year award winner, Minnesota Vikings. I like them to finish above the Green Bay Packers in their division. The offense is nice. The defense has gotten a little bit better in the offseason. I like the change of coaching staff, going from the more traditional style, then going into Kevin O'Connell, younger offensive coordinator coming over from the Los Angeles Rams. We know what that offense looks like. We know how the Shanahan branch of offensive coaches looks like. And I really think that they can surprise some people, and they are a dark horse Super Bowl team. They're a team that fought in a lot of close games last year. Saw a stat that if every team's games that finished within one score was flipped, they would have finished with like 15 wins or something ridiculous. Like not almost every game they lost really was within one score. And they a lot of that it was due to coaching. So I think they massively improved on the coaching side of things, and they're my team to impress. Followed my team to disappoint, and I'm sorry, it's the Patriots. I know you guys see me sitting here as a Dolphins fan, like, of course you picked the Patriots. Let's just look at the facts. Outside of Bill Belichick, what do the Patriots have going for them? They have an offense run by 2 failed head coaches. Their defense has lost countless stars over the years, and yes, I get it. They're able to replace them. Eventually, that's going to catch up to them. And I think Bill Belichick's at a point of his career where he's not listening to anybody else other than the people within his own circle, and I think that's ultimately going to lead to the demise of the New England Patriots. Last year, as a Dolphins fan, I spent so much time defending Tua, and I came back on that a little bit, and I was open to the Dolphins moving off from Tua. But looking at Mac Jones, I'm going to defend Mac Jones this year and say he's not given an opportunity to succeed. The offensive line's a little weaker. His offensive weapons are horrible. His best offensive weapon is Devontae Parker, who the Dolphins kind of forced out of Miami. He can't stay healthy. Their run game is really up in the air, whether it's Ramondre Stevenson or a whole host of guys in that backfield. We always know that they have like a turnstile of running backs there, like with Damian Harris. So that offense is going to be really weak in an offensive-minded league. You're in a strong division with the Buffalo Bills, who I think are going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to make the playoffs and are going to beat them week 1. So it's not like he has any freebies, really. I think Mac Jones is going to struggle, and I don't really think it's going to be his fault. He's not really given any opportunity to succeed here. So I think the Patriots are really going to disappoint a lot of people this year. So do not bet your money on the Patriots if you're going to be betting on teams this year. Followed by the MVP. Now, this is an award that there's quite a few guys that I like to win this award this year. Matt Stafford, if his elbow holds up, there's a really good opportunity he could win MVP. I really like the direction the Rams are going. Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl last year. I expect the Bengals to be just as strong this year. Tom Brady, probably his last season. We know there's some personal issues at home. There's a good chance that it's due to the fact that he decided to return. Let's look at the back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers. He has something to prove. He's on his own. There's really no help out there. And he's facing a lot of heat. He's faced a lot of heat this offseason. But I think the MVP is going to be Josh Allen. In division, in the AFC East, I think the Buffalo Bills are really going to take a step forward and be the kings of the AFC East, or the AFC as a whole this year. I think they're going to make it all the way to the Super Bowl, which I'll get into next. I really like how that team's looking, and quarterback is the most important position in all of sports, most important position in all of football. So I got Josh Allen leading the way as my MVP, and that leads me to the Super Bowl. Kind of spoiled it already here by saying the Bills, but the AFC is stacked. The AFC is loaded with a bunch of teams that have arguments to be made that they're the best in the conference. The entire AFC West can make a case that they can make the Super Bowl. I love the Broncos a lot, and sitting here on this show 3 months ago, I said the Broncos. Like a week or two after Russell Wilson was traded, I said the Broncos, and I like the Broncos to win that division. And, you know, if you told me that you're putting money on the Broncos to make the Super Bowl, I'm not going to question that. I'm not going to say that's a bad decision. I really like their defense. They've added some nice pieces in the offseason, already on a really young and solid team. The offense, Russell Wilson, of course. And then you have the Chiefs in division, Patrick Mahomes. He lost Tyreek Hill. Yeah, but he still has Travis Kelce, still has Andy Reid. The Chargers, electric offense, pun intended. Herbert. You got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. There's a lot going on there, a lot to like. I'm sorry, the Miami Dolphins, we're nice. I think we're making the playoffs. There's a lot to like in the AFC, but the Buffalo Bills stand alone. Devin Singletary, hope represents in the Super Bowl if they make it there back-to-back years. A FAU Owl makes it into the Super Bowl. So I got the Bills representing in the AFC. Over in the West, again, there's quite a few good teams. We have the Rams from last season looking to repeat. A lot of guys were questioning retirement after what they achieved last year, but clearly they still have something to prove. Look at the Buccaneers. Like I said with the MVP conversation, Tom Brady, definitely his last year at this point. Gisele's not going to stand for him coming back and playing another year. The Packers, the Vikings, the Eagles. But it is going to be the Rams again. Everything out of camp saying the Rams look sharp for a Super Bowl winner. There is some Super Bowl hangover sometimes you see where the Super Bowl winners from the year before and the Super Bowl runner-ups from the year before kind of have a sluggish start. But I think the Rams are going to find a way to make it work on another stacked team that they're bringing out. They replaced Von Miller with Bobby Wagner, replaced Robert Woods with Allen Robinson. The team's just as good as they were last year, if not better. So I have what's going to be a rematch of the game we're going to see the day you guys are watching this. We're going to see tomorrow, the day of recording tomorrow, the day of viewing this today, we're going to see the Bills and the Rams. And I like the Rams to win that game. And I like the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Back-to-back Super Bowls for the Rams. Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and the gang going to win their second ring. So this has been my NFL Superlatives. However you say that word, I'm still not 100% sure. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. If you think I got anything extremely wrong, please let me know. I like being yelled and screamed at. All right? Who do you think is going to win the MVP? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Please let me know down in the comments below. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm getting really close to 100 subscribers, and it would just make me really happy if I would get to 100 subscribers. So thank you very much for watching. Please click the like button down below. Please subscribe, and please make sure to have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody.